Okay, we're back again. We're back with another long form video. These seem to be going down really well, the more kind of educational style content. So what I've done is a couple of weeks ago, I put out a question box on my Instagram, and basically I'm just going to answer those questions that some of my followers asked in the question box. All right. I also get DMs very regularly about fitness, weight loss, the best things to do and all this kind of stuff. So obviously I reply to those messages, but I'm going to condense them and answer them in a little bit more detail in this video as well, because I'm almost certain that the questions that I get asked, more than one person probably wants to know the answer to these questions. They're very common questions that I get asked. So hopefully I can add a little bit of value, bust some fitness myths, or just, give you a better understanding of certain topics that you may be a little bit unsure about. Okay. All right, so let's get straight into this one. So first question, would you recommend getting a heart rate monitor to use so I can make sure my heart rate is in the fat burning zone for cardio, or would it be a waste of money, mate? So first of all, if you're going to be buying a heart rate monitor for weight loss or for fat loss, yes, it's definitely going to be a waste of money. Okay, heart rate monitors and Garmin watches like this one here are really good to track, your paces, your steps. Maybe you want to track your sleep, or you want to get fitter and you want to kind of know what your heart rate zones are. That's when Garmin's and heart rate monitors are very effective. Now, when it comes to the fat burning zone, which is more commonly known as zone 2, there's a lot of misconception around what the fat burning zone actually is. Fat burning and fat loss are two completely different things. The only way to lose body fat is to control your diet, control your nutrition, and be in a calorie deficit. When it comes to fat burning, zone 2 exercise is for the majority of people, it's very easy exercise. It's not necessarily that fatiguing, and you can sustain it for long periods of time. Now, because the exercise that we do in zone 2 is not that intense, it means that we don't use carbs as our preferred source of energy. So the body's preferred source of energy in zone 2 is fat, which is why we call it fat burning, because your body's main source of energy that it's utilizing for fuel during that exercise is fat. Okay, now when we talk about fat, I'm not talking about body fat, all right? I'm talking about fat as a macronutrient, okay? So two very different things there. Next question, how much time I need to be in the gym for losing weight? It doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. You could spend 0 time in the gym and lose weight. You could spend 6-7 hours a week in the gym and not lose any weight, all right? Now, of course, the more time you spend in the gym, you're going to be exercising more frequently, you're going to be burning more calories, you're going to be giving your body more opportunities to burn more calories, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose body fat, because again, like I said in the previous point, the only way that you're going to lose body fat and lose weight is if you're in a calorie deficit. Now again, if you're exercising more frequently, that's going to give you a better chance of creating a calorie deficit, but it doesn't automatically mean that you're definitely 100% going to lose weight. So the time that you need to be spending in the gym is a time that you can consistently stick to over a long period of time. If that's 2 hours per week, stick with that. If it's 3, 4, 5 hours per week, stick with that as well. It's specific to you, it's very much individualized, and it's what you can sustain over a long period of time. There's no set amount that you need to be training in the gym to lose weight. Okay, question 3. What are the reps/set ratio for losing weight? So again, the answer to this one is pretty much the same as the previous answer. Weight loss is about what you put in your mouth, essentially. Exercise can support that, of course it can, but in terms of reps and sets, when we talk about reps and sets, we're talking about lifting, we're talking about weight training, and that's not going to really support your weight loss goals. There is no given sets or reps ratio that you need to be following to lose weight. Question number 4, what is the most effective cardio to do and how long, etc.? So again, quite similar to the second question. So in terms of the most effective cardio, a lot of people will say here there isn't a more or less effective type of cardio, but we've got to look at a few different factors here. We've got to look at how long you can commit to training per week. If that's 1 or 2 hours, you're going to get much more benefit from doing higher intense kind of cardio, okay? Especially if you're strapped for time, you need to be really efficient with what you're doing in the gym. High intensity workouts are really good here because they don't take long to complete. You're going to burn more calories, but again, just because we're burning more calories, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose body fat. It's going to give you a better chance to do so, but it doesn't definitely 100% mean that you're going to lose body fat. Most effective cardio is also going to be the type of cardio that you enjoy doing. Like if you're doing shit that you hate, you're much less likely to stick to it over a long period of time. All right, so figure out a type of cardio that you actually like to do. That's going to give you a better chance of success, because success comes down to consistency, and if you're doing things that you enjoy, you're more likely to stick with that longer term. Last question, is it better focusing on one exercise for each body part for a few weeks to improve weight/technique? So this is a good question actually. The first thing we need to do when we look at sort of programming for lifting and stuff like that is how many days per week are you going to be able to realistically commit to training? Let's just say, for example, you're going to be training 3 times per week, okay? So if you're training 3 times per week, I would be probably more inclined to give you a full body workout, an upper body workout, and a lower body workout, okay? That's going to allow us to hit each muscle group twice per week, which is a nice little sweet spot for getting stronger, building muscle, and still having plenty of time to recover from those sessions, okay? So that's the first thing we need to look at. Second thing, what are your goals? Are you wanting to build muscle? Are you wanting to get stronger? Are you wanting to kind of do a little bit of both? If you're a beginner, you can definitely get strong and build muscle simultaneously. Most people can anyway. So in terms of focusing on one exercise part for a few weeks, I'd probably do per session, I would probably do 2 exercises per body part per week, okay? If you're wanting to get stronger, build muscle and all that kind of stuff, I think you're probably going to get much better returns from hitting the same muscle group twice per session. So for example, in practice, it would look like, so you would hit chest twice. In an upper body session, you would hit shoulders twice. You would hit biceps and triceps twice. Same with your lower body sessions and your full body sessions as well. With the full body session, you might even be able to get away with just hitting each muscle group just once. But try to think more about how many exercises that you're doing per body part per session, but think of it more in terms of across your week, because we want to be focusing more on total volume across the week as opposed to just in one session. Because again, some weeks you might be able to hit more sessions, other weeks you might be able to hit less sessions. So we would need to adapt your training accordingly based on how many times and days you're going to be training in that given week. And a lot of these questions I do get asked a lot. Certainly the zone 2 one I get asked a lot, and definitely the most effective cardio is one that I get asked a lot as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I provided a little bit of value for you. Maybe these questions are something that you kind of wondered about a little bit yourself as well. So yeah, hopefully I could answer those questions for you. I'll probably do more of these Q&A style longer form vlogs over the coming weeks as well. So make sure you go follow me on Instagram, Elliot Miller PT. Drop me a DM anytime as well. I reply to all the DMs, and I will feature your questions on these longer form videos as well. Peace.